Techno update. Subscribe now.
Vodafone Smart Ultra 6 Review. Design. The Vodafone Smart Ultra 6 is probably the best value large-screen phone around right now. But we're going to start with its weakest element, design. There are no serious practical issues with the Vodafone Smart Ultra 6's blueprint, but it is a total style vacuum. It's as if this was the template from which to start designing a phone, then Vodafone simply said yep, that'll do to ZTE, the company that actually produces the hardware. Screen. If you're not interested in the Vodafone Smart Ultra 6 just because it offers 4G at a reasonable price, it's a fair bet that the screen has lured you here. This is the best screen we've seen in a £125 phone to date. Where other phones at the price use 720p panels, this one is 1080p, meaning there's no sense of sharpness compromise despite the display's large 5.5-inch size. It's big, it's sharp, and its colors are pretty good too. Performance. Given the price, the hardware running the Vodafone Smart Ultra 6 is quite fantastic too. It has the Snapdragon 615 processor and 2GB RAM. While the Snapdragon 615 is a mid-range processor, it might be more realistic to view it as a Snapdragon 410 upscaled to suit the greater needs of a 1080p, rather than 720p, phone. It8 Cortex-A53 cores, 4 clocked at 1.5 GHz, and another 4 at 1.0 GHz. Something like the 4G Motorola Moto G has 4 of this kind of core, at 1.2 GHz. Higher-end Snapdragon chipsets like the 810 only use Cortex-A53s for their low-power cores, letting you the sort of performance to expect. Thanks to its wealth of cores, the Vodafone Smart Ultra 6 does pretty well on the conventional benchmark tools too. It scores 2,264 in Geekbench 3 and 24,990 in Antutu, predictably trashing the 1,300 Geekbench 3 and 17,000 Antutu scores you could expect from the 720p Snapdragon 410 competition. Again, consider the difference in resolution, and this increase isn't quite so spectacular, but just as important. Camera. Over the last 6 months or so, we've seen an explosion of 13-megapixel budget phones, and the Vodafone Smart Ultra 6 sits among them. It's all because Sony came out with a new low-cost, high-resolution sensor, and just about everyone seems to have jumped on the thing. However, the results you can expect depend an awful lot on processing and how a camera manages its exposure settings. The latter in particular is crucial in getting a good hit rate from a phone. For selfies, the Vodafone Smart Ultra 6 has a 5-megapixel sensor and offers pretty good images. Indoors it'll compensate for middling lighting just fine, while holding on to color saturation. You don't get many bonus modes for selfies, but there is one that snaps as soon as it spots a smile. A spoonful of creepiness for you, there. Battery life. One worry of a cheaper phone with a very large screen is whether it'll foul up on battery life. However, the Vodafone Smart Ultra 6 once again does perfectly well. It has a 3000 mAh battery that Vodafone claims will last for up to 2 days off a charge. You won't get this if you play games, stream video and so on. However, it's achievable with lighter use.